Hello, Queen Ages. I am here after what I have to say is possibly one of the most disgusting weeks that I've had in a long time, thanks to perimenopause, which has showed up in my life as a heavy wool wet blanket over the whole lot. And it's been really interesting being really present with those feelings and not letting them take over in a way that they would have in the past for me. It's interesting also the physicality of feeling these things and how it shows up in your body, which has been also a fascinating process for me to follow as somebody who has, for a very long time, was completely disconnected from my body for reasons that were to protect myself. But yeah, this last week has been intense, and I'm pretty sure it was the absolutely brutal trip to the dental hygienist that triggered it. When I track back to Monday, which is when I had the appointment with the dental hygienist, it was basically all downhill from there. I didn't sleep well either, which, as those of you who are in the same or similar phase of life to me would know, that sleep is very important and it can help really maintain some kind of equilibrium when you are sleeping well. When you're not, you really notice that it shows up in ways that aren't so nice. So I actually had a day this week where I just couldn't stop crying. I was literally in tears. I had tears in my eyes pretty much the whole day. And then at some point yesterday, the feeling shifted. I took a nap. I rested. I was lucky enough that I had some online meetings and I was able to kind of gather myself and take some time out, including having a nap. I ate some dark chocolate, really good, love it. I don't know if it had anything to do with it, probably not, but it was nice. But the feeling shifted, and I've woken up today and I feel completely different. Like my body even feels different, which is quite amazing. So it is worth sitting with those feelings. It's worth listening to your body and resting when you need, if you can. Not everybody has that opportunity. I'm lucky enough that I have a job with some flexibility. My job can be all sorts of different things. I have multiple jobs actually, but that I was lucky enough that that could happen. So yeah, I just wanted to share that experience because I'm fully aware that perhaps people don't, because they feel as if showing up in ways that are less than sparkly is not okay. And I'm very much for the messy middle, but it also means that I have to challenge myself. Yesterday, if I had have felt the way I did yesterday, today, I might not have shown up here on video. And of course, I gave a kind of promise to myself that I would show up every Friday, and I have done so since October, since I started. Every week, I have shown up on video, and that is also challenging because I don't love seeing myself on camera. And I'm start to get critical, and then I just ignore myself and I look at the little green dot. And I probably could have a photo of one of my best friends or something. Um, or perhaps, do a collage of all the amazing people. I think you're, a few hundred of you now. That might be a little bit hard, but for the people maybe who listen listen to me, I have a photo of you all attached, so it feels like I'm talking to somebody. Anyway, that is how I've been feeling. It's very much the messy middle, and the irony is not lost on me that I, for March, chose the theme of light, because it has been incredibly challenging for me to feel light this month. But it's also been a real chance for me to say, well, light exists at the same time as shadow exists. And where does that show up in my life, and how is that showing up? So I do work with people who dive into those shadow aspects or are wanting to dive into those shadow aspects of themselves, and I have a process that I work through with people that I use on myself that's really helpful, and it can really be a way of you walking into the future or into the light by acknowledging those shadow parts of yourself. Anyway, I am going to pull a card today because the fabulous people at Grounded Minds, they're actually selling their cards still. So I'm going to drop the link in here, and I'm going to pull a card because it has been useful in the past, and I do love these. They are the set called Expect Miracles, and this is today's card. Magnetic. I am magnetic. My soul is divinely charged with pure energy. I attract and create all that I manifest. What a beautiful card. That is yours for today. I will perhaps drop a photo of this card below, and I'll drop the link of where you can find these amazing cards, which I use on a daily, even when times are feeling tough, and it can be a little ray of light, even when it feels like a wet wool blanket. And I'm not shitting you. It actually did feel like a wet wool blanket. And if you've never been under a wet wool blanket, yeah, maybe try it out. It's like a weighted blanket, but damp and perhaps a little bit claustrophobic, and you feel like you're never going to come out of it. But I did, which is nice. Have a fabulous weekend. You can let me know how your week has gone in the comments. I always love to hear from all of you. I did drop a note in the chat, so if you're not in the chat, you can pop in there. I every now and then show up there. I send this little video message there. I also have this directly popping up to YouTube, amazingly. So I actually am on YouTube. I don't really do anything, but it seems that's what you can do with this incredible platform. Send it to all different places. Anyway, happy weekend. We're heading towards the end of March at a rapid pace. Incredible. I mean, it's the same pace that every day, 24 hours, but sometimes time just feels like it's going more quickly. Anyway, hang in there, friends. If you're in the Southern Hemisphere, you're heading into autumn. It's a beautiful time of the year, in Australia anyway. And yeah, take care of yourselves. Bye.